Hello, my name is Luke. Hopefully you can hear me this time. I already recorded it once, and I was really, really quiet and decided to record it again. But anyways, here's my Capstone project is a VR game. It's not just a normal VR game. I made this in the Unity engine right up here. Uh, the reason why I chose this is because I'm more familiar with Unity. We mostly dealt with Unity and video game making. In Jeremy's class, we mostly used Unity, right? Okay, here's a quick, not quick, but here's a detailed explanation of my game and what it does. So here is the player. The player is in a VR is a VR type of player. It's not just a normal camera that you can attach a movement script to it and move it around with keys. This is a you. So what you have to do is put the VR headset on along with the controllers to be able to interact and move around in the world. This is Steam VR. The reason why that's why you see all these Steam logos. All these Steam logos are teleport points. So there's two ways that you can move around in Steam VR. You can use teleport points, which is where the player can pick that location and teleport to it, or there's a grid that you can just put down that they can teleport anywhere on the grid, which is great for the game that I'm making this first puzzle right here. That's the second puzzle over in that area. So pretty much what you do is the player loads in, you teleport to these points. They're supposed to climb up to this controller here. So they see this controller here, they can pick up that controller, and what that controller controls is this buggy right here. And the buggy moves around in this area and has to get to the end. And once it gets to the end, there's a finish line that you can't see right here. So this looks like a box, but there's actually a finish line. The finish line, what it does multiple things. So the text you see right here and at the start of the game is not actually there when you're playing the game. It only shows when the player passes through the finish line, and this pops up Maze 1 finished for about a couple seconds, and then it disappears. But then when you go back to the start here, it says puzzle finished. So that shows you that this first puzzle is done. So say you finish this first puzzle and you want to go to the second part of the puzzle. You go over to here, and this is where one of the cool features that I found that works actually pretty well, which is a button. So this square box, this box can be moved up and down. I guess you can call it. I guess it's a cube. You move the cube, hovers up, and what you can do is actually take your physical hand in VR and push down that button. And whenever that button touches the bottom or touches the table, it teleports you to the specified location that is attached to that script that this button is attached to. In this case, you push that button down, it teleports you up to this area. And when it teleports you up to this area, you pretty much have the same thing. That finish line also teleports the buggy that's right there over to in this location right here. So then you can keep going on with the game. You get through this maze, which is significantly kind of harder. It takes a little bit more thinking to get through than this maze. You shouldn't be able to get stuck in these the corridors. There was times when I first created the game and I had people try it, they were getting stuck in these. Now they don't. You also can see here there's a timer here, and there's going to be a timer down here, and all the way over here there's two timers over there. They are all synced up. They count up from the time you started the game, and they pretty much keep a time of how long you've been in the game. And so once you get the buggy through this entire thing, which I kind of forget how to get through it. I think you have to go to the right here and over and over and over. And you land on here. This thing actually has an animation on it that moves up and down. So this will move up and down, bringing it down to this location right here. The buggy would be dropped down to here. And when the buggy's dropped down to here, you have to get through this one. This is the last part of the maze. And as like before, when the buggy hits that finish line, this time it doesn't teleport it, but when it hits that finish line, it pops up that the puzzle has been finished. And over here is another button that allows you to go back up to the top, which is right up here. Right here. Then you go back down, and this button right here brings you back to where the second puzzle starts. So once if you push that button down or this button down, it brings you down to the second puzzle that's over here. So this puzzle's a jumping puzzle. It's a little bit different from the first. It's a lot different from the first one. It's completely different. But with this one, you have this remote here that controls this guy. His name is Joe Jeff. He sometimes has a cowboy hat on. He puts different hats on. But what you can do is control him left to right, up and down, side to side, and control him to jump up these platforms. And it's pretty straightforward. I also added a if I can find his body. Yeah, Joe Jeff here. This is pretty much everything that is attached to him. Joe Jeff script, throwable, velocity estimator, interactable, Joe Jeff gesture, and the Joe health script, which is the biggest thing that kind of is on it. So what this is, it shows that Joe Jeff has 100 points of health. The max amount of health that he can have is only 100, so you can't go above 100. So this is the canvas that the slider's in. And the reason why you want to add this is so that you can figure out which one's being which slider's being attached to it, which one needs to be updated and unupdated. So then there's that. There's a start over telly, which is empty right here. So whenever he dies, he teleports to right there. But once you get farther enough, he teleports along this axis whenever he dies. Which I can kind of show I can show the script here, which I think I have it loaded up already. Yep. So here's the entire script for it. His health, his max health, his health bar UI, the slider, teleport. This is his death. Whenever he dies, this is where he teleport. The max health. Excuse me. And this is the if statement to figure out if his health is below 0. If his health is below 0, he gets teleported back to that spot and have to bring back his health back up to 100. The reason why I need to bring back his health up to 100 is that if it's constantly at 0, obviously that causes a problem. And then this returns this calculates this health, returns it, and figures all that out. Thing that connects to it, the script that connects to it is this. This is the thing. These are what you attach. This script is what you attach to objects to give them damage. To be able to damage Joe Jeff. So the damage is 5. Every time he hits the thing, he gets 5 hit points taken off of his health. And the player is there to pull into that Joe Jeff is the one being hit, right? Here's one of the objects that are color coded red. You can see over here that it's a damage script, and the player originally nothing's there. You want to put Joe Jeff in there, and that shows you that whenever Joe Jeff's hitbox hits that, he takes damage. But for the most part, that's what this is. All of these teleport points is to make it so that the player can move around and figure out where they want to go on the if they want to be on different levels to see up, because you can't see all the way up to the top, you can't see all the way down to the bottom, and sometimes the player wants a better way to look at it. But that's pretty much that. I guess a little bit more is there's the timer that connects to it. There's these turrets that dispense bullets out that can hurt Joe Jeff every so often. So it's every time they're on a cycle, so they all are on the same cycle. They all put the bullets out at the same time. There's these platforms that move left and right. These move up and down, and Joe Jeff can stand and these go up and down on them. This is just obviously the turret. She can drop back down, jump. This one moves left and right. There's a script on this that attaches Joe Jeff. Oh, that's a button telly script. That attaches Joe Jeff to the platform. So the problem with animations is that the animation will move back left and right, but it doesn't act like real life. Because if you're on something that's moving, you think that you move along with it. In a video game, that's not how it works. So you have to create a script with a hitbox that sends out that the text that the player's on it attaches it makes it apparent to that. It'll move over, it'll stick with it, and then you can jump off of it onto the other ones. But then it would disable it. It would make it false once you jump off of it, so you don't stick with moving with that platform. So it just acts. It turns on and off and each platform of these have that to it. Same with that one. Then you get over to the end. One feature that kind of works is kind of different is that let's say once you get to this point, right? You can jump up here, but once you get to here, and let's say you mess up jumping, you have to restart from the bottom again, and that kind of moves on to over here. This also makes it so that they can't cheat the game. They can't jump where they're not supposed to jump and skip where they are. Right here is they can jump over here, but they can't get anywhere up on here, up on this point. So once they get to the end, they jump through this jumping puzzle. I think these all move. Also, this puzzle finished is not going to be here unless you activate the finish line, which is right here. Then the puzzle finishers pop up pretty much the same way as that would work. And I added some trees here just because I was messing around with the with what trees are, how I can make them look, if I can cover up the vision of it. They didn't really work out, as you can see. I tried doing multiple ways of doing it, but yeah, for the most part, this is what that puzzle is. That's puzzle 2, and this is puzzle 1 with multiple levels to it. And for the new, I can actually load it up and show you how this game actually works. Just give me 1 second. I'll put the VR headset on. So this uses Steam VR. Steam VR is the way that you use to is one of the ways that I am using to track the VR headset and everything. And you also can use Oculus with it because Oculus is up and the Steam VR is up. But that's everything that you can. That's like the basic part of it. So let's say I want to load into the game now. Just hit play. It should just load up here. Yep. So now I'm in the game. You can see. Hopefully you can see up on the Unity browser. You can't see exactly what I'm seeing, but you can see what I'm looking at. Moving my head back and forth. So here, here's your hands. It kind of shows your controllers. I think this is a new update they added. At first you couldn't, but it's fine. It makes it more realistic. This is what my hands actually look like. Whenever I touch the button, it shows that I'm touching, or touch the triggers, shows it there. So how you move around is you hold forward. You can see it here. You hold forward, and it pops up that thing, and you can teleport to these spots, right? Teleport any spot here, and these are the teleport points. So let's say I want to do the first puzzle. You just teleport up to here, teleport up to here. And I'm kind of sitting down, so it's kind of weird. This is the first example of the timer. The timer's over there. It's counting up. It's about to hit a minute. We can watch it do that. And what that would do was increment the zero to a 1. Yep. And there you go. 1 second to a minute and 5 seconds right now, right? So now here's the table. It's physical. In the game, if it's physical. So whenever I want to, so I can go and grab this controller. So one of the problems with the controllers that I had before was that whenever I let go of the controller, it would just snap back to that location. But now I made it to the point where it just floats. You can switch the hand if you really want, and bring it back. But you see these side grips right here. These side grips allow you to grab the controller. So they need to grab. You need to grab it, and you hit the grab button. And then here we go. And then if I hold the trigger down, it shoots the buggy out, and then you can teleport with the other hand by pushing forward. And yeah, so I can finish this real quick and show you the function of the teleport. Oh, I dropped it. Just grab that. Go back to here. That's the reason why I made the didn't want the load thing to be dropped, because sometimes you just randomly drop it by accident. So I know how to finish this puzzle pretty quickly. Well, this wasn't too hard. I created a maze, and the buggy I just was able to get. So here, I can kind of show you what's going to happen. So here it shows you that the buggy. Let's go back a little further. Shows that the buggy's there. They can go forward. So there's as I said before, there's an invisible finish line in there. Whenever it hits it, it gets teleported. It pretty much gets teleported up in that area.
So now puzzle is the puzzle finished. I didn't show you right there, but the puzzle finished. That text popped up. It only shows it for a little bit of time, but if I go back to the start, this kind of confirms that it worked. There should be a text saying puzzle finish. So now the puzzle has been finished. Took me about 3 minutes 20 seconds to finish, but there's even more to the puzzle. So here I can go here. This is the button that I was talking about. So take my hand, I can push down on it. You show that it lights up, but when I press this all the way down, it teleports me, and I have the controller still in my hand. And down here should be the buggy, and yep, there's the buggy. So I'm just gonna kind of leave that buggy there because this puzzle will take a long time, and I kind of don't want to finish it for you guys. But pretty much what will happen is that you can drive the buggy through the entire thing. I think to go to the right here all the way through. There's a lot of dead ends, and once you get to the end, there that green thing will move down and up periodically. He's got a mat. You just got to go to the thing, get the buggy onto that thing. It will drop down. You can go over here, teleport down, and that teleport down will bring you, which is that teleport thing right there. Buggy would land right there, and you can see that over in this area, the puzzle finish was there when I was looking at the game, making the game. But now here's the timer. But let's say if I want to go back to the start, I can hit that button again. I'm not going to. Uh, and here's the next button. So you have to get the cart into there. Then you got to push this button down again. And there we go. We're at the second puzzle. This is the second puzzle. You can see the timer up there. You can see the teleport points I have. So here's one of the things. So I can grab this um, thing. I can control the guy back and forth. You would think that he would be able to come through this area. As you can see from my cursor, there's an invisible wall there, so he can't run through the wall. He can jump. I had a problem where he was able to run through walls. I just made the walls thicker, which made the hitbox bigger, and now he can't run through the walls. So let's say I want to go up here. I can go up here. The health bar tracks him, which is a big thing. So I can make him jump up here, up here. Oh, let's get him up here to where that. I overshot it. Over to where the this thing is right here. That's I think it's like a cylinder type of thing. I don't know. Okay, so here, so you can see here that he can run through it. So that's a problem with him taking damage. He can take damage whenever that thing runs over top of him. I think the hitbox is a little bit messed up on that one, but for the most part, he can take damage. Whenever he takes damage, the red line shows up. So let's drop him down. He can keep running down. And there you go. See, this is a good explanation of how to do it. He can drop down here, over here, and here. Let's go up here. I think I like this one better. And there we go. And then he drops down here. You can come up here. Comes up. Jump up here. That works. Come up here. And there we go. Now he's up here. Jump up here. Do a little skill jump here. There we go. So then so what happens when he dies? So let me just run through this thing. He can run through these, but they have him take damage. Takes damage. Takes damage. Boom. I'm actually gonna take damage through a ball. Ooh. There we go. Have him take damage through a ball. So that the bullets still deal damage. So whenever he gets hurt from a bullet, ooh, we'll just stand down here. But if he takes damage from a bullet, he gets hurt. So what happens here is he gets teleported. He should be teleported back down at the start. Yep. Well, he's not back exactly at the start, but he's back at the start. He has to restart again. He has to redo the puzzle. So with that in mind, these are the platforms that he's able to attach to. That will, whenever it moves back and forth, he's attached to it. He doesn't do that one bug. Go over here. Oh, the timer's actually still the timer here is broken. I thought I fixed it. I guess I didn't. But once you get to the end, you can see that the puzzle finish isn't here. Just to save some time, just to cut this video down. Once he hits this, Joe Jeff hits the thing. Uh, puzzle finish shows up, and that's the time of the and that finishes the game. Uh, and yeah, here's the view of everything. I guess you can see over there that I have a text that's broken. But yeah, for the most part, this is what the game is. It works pretty well. It tracks pretty well. I did have a problem where Joe Jeff, when I was yesterday of the recording of this video, Joe Jeff would take damage and it would crash the game. I had to change that real quick, but you can see up here it took me about like 8 minutes 27 seconds to explain it and everything in the game. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me find where my desk is. Put this down.
But for the most part, this is my game. It took this is the basics of it. Of course, you can expand on this a little bit more. Um, but this is like people really had fun. I had people beta test it, come in, test it, see what they thought about it, and see if everything worked, and it does. Um, Everything goes as smooth as possible. Kind of intuitive. Kind of need some explanation on how to use it because VR is still kind of a new thing. But yeah, this is pretty much the entire game. It's pretty simple. Looks kind of simple too. Didn't have time to do really textures or anything like that, which doesn't really affect the gameplay. It just makes the thing look nicer. This is more or less kind of like a beta, or more than anything else. Put this over there. So the reason why I chose like a VR game because I want to get some experience in this programming field. It's fairly new. A lot of companies such as like Walmart and Verizon are using VR headsets now to train employees. Walmart is using it as a way to train their employees on what to do on the floor and how everything works on the floor, where to put things, and how to search for things in VR. And Verizon's going a little bit more with it by using having their managers of the stores, like the higher ups, go in and do like a robbery. They're getting robbed and they have to make the right decision with someone, and like a video plays in front of them, and they have to react to it accordingly to in the correct way. But these are some of the ways, and VR is now getting insanely huge with COVID-19 being a thing. I got insanely lucky. My brother has a VR headset at my house since we're not at college. But if that was a thing, all the VR headsets are now sold out. And you're not able to get one. They're on massive back order. Yeah, VR is becoming a big thing. Valve just released a new game that kind of revolutionizes everything. This is very basic compared to it, but some of the same concepts are used in that you would see in this game. But yeah, for the most part, that's my project, and I think I hit all the bases on what I should talk about. Uh, I guess I can talk. Actually, I can guess I can talk about some struggles I had. Some struggles that I had is the timers were pretty straightforward. The puzzle text finish gave me a little bit of problem. Ended up figuring out with some research. Finish line wasn't that hard. The the button teleport is actually kind of a big thing. That's not really I haven't really seen that before too much in VR games. Obviously, it's been used. It's a function that you can add into the game, but seeing it push down and all that stuff, and activating it whenever it touches the bottom or a certain level is a way to teleport players around. Another way of movement that I added over here. The Joe Jeff. The what gave me the biggest problem were these turrets. I wanted the turrets. I wanted to have a variety in the turrets. I wanted to have turrets that track the player and shoots at the player. I had a problem with that, and I ended up just going to the very basics of it and just creating a turret that shoots every so often um, with a bullet that deals damage, which is a prefab, which just spawns a prefab and shoots it down. I also wasn't able to find a way to delete the bullets for some reason. Anything that collided with the bullets didn't want to pick it up and wouldn't delete it. But yeah, this is what I added. But yeah, for the most part, this was all pretty straightforward. I'm impressed on how it turned out, and I'm kind of excited on how what I can improve to make this game better, and these basics have given me to like create my own games, put more detail into it, and what it gave me to make like 3D games and all that stuff. yeah, for the most part, that's my video, my capstone. I hope you like it. Bye.